Well, hello, model car fans. Welcome to the Muscle Car Modeler. My name is Raul, and here I'm going to go over all the kits I bought in November, and went a little hog wild with it, maybe. So, I'll explain a little bit into that. But at first, this is what I started with. This is from our sponsor, Hobby Nut Models. Check them out in the video description below. There's a link, and he's also got a sale going on right now for the holidays, all through December, and he's changing that up weekly. So please check them out in the video description below. And then he sent me this one to review and everything to go through, you guys, and I did briefly go through it and check it out. So looking forward to doing that, but I got to dig out my older kits of this. I have a 67 in my stash, although not a mint kit, but I do have it. And I have an 80s issue or 90s issue of this as well. And in this one, I noticed that they have some more of the restored parts from some of the original kits in it that my other issues don't have. But and I'll go over what I plan to do or what I have for this kit, because I've got a couple of them, but I've never actually finished one of these. I don't know why, but I've got 3 of them in my stash as far as started projects go, but I haven't finished any one of these. And then same thing with these Cougars. I bought these from Hobby Nut Models, as he let me know, what kits he had vintage wise or older issues that haven't been out in a while. And I have built these. You've seen them on the channel. So I wanted some unbuilt ones to review the differences between the kits, because there have been updates and changes to the tooling on this. I've got an older issue, a couple older issues that I got to dig out of my stash also. And there's a couple of other ones that I would like to get my hands on that I don't currently have. So I got to check with some of my friends here locally, see if they've got any of those issues, and if I can borrow them or track them down. So those are videos planned in the future. And then some of these kits that I purchased for that reason as well. So here's what I got from Hobby Nut Models, and then I'll move on to the rest of the stash, which is quite a bit, but that's how this stuff goes, especially when you got a number of them that you go. Now, Andy's hobby headquarters here locally, it's been on the channel where he has a whole bunch of kits that he had purchased. Well, he had sold a bunch of them, but there's still a stack left. But he announced that during Thanksgiving or whatnot, they were $20. What hasn't sold, he marked them down to $10. So I went over there to see what he had, and the rest of these kits came from there, but at $10 a piece. Did I have to have any of them? Not really, but at that price, I had to. I grabbed a number of them, and this is one of them, the a la carte. Now I have one of these built up from my friend's dad that built one, and it's a lovely build, and it looks like a lovely kit. So I checked it out and was looking, and it's unbuilt, and which with the ones that Andy got, just check. But so I grabbed this one. So here's one of them right here, and next up in that pile, this one I've wanted, and I have an S10, but I wanted to get one of these, and some of these are kind of silly priced. I've seen what people are asking, not really paying much attention to what they're selling for. But this one I decided to grab. Now I wish it was a 97 and not a 94, because 94s, they don't have the lowered suspension or the 16-inch wheels, but it's still an SS, which is how I intend to build it. Now this one, I didn't look as closely as I should have, because everything is pretty much here and bagged, except it is missing one taillight. The right taillight, which it is the right one, right? Yeah, that's the driver's side taillight. I'm missing the passenger side taillight. The third brake light's on here, but I thought I looked them over really good, but I didn't realize that it was missing a lens. So I'll have to look for one of those lenses. If you have a spare lens or whatnot, let me know. I'll put my email address on here. So yeah, let me know on that, and maybe we can work a trade or something like that. But I'll be looking for one of these, and I know the Sonoma came out recently, and I believe it's going to be the same taillight, but I don't know 100% on this particular one, as I've not built one of these. But next up, another one that I've seen built up many times and is really nice. The 64 Chevy pickup. I do like doing some trucks. I'm not a real big fan, but I like these, and it's just a good looking truck. So same thing, this one, it appears to all be there. Looked it over briefly, but at that price, I just couldn't pass it up, so I grabbed that one as well. Here's another one. Chevrolet Impala Super Sport. Although this one, it's just kind of funny because I kind of read about this car in the past. This is really a Chevrolet 427 SS. It's not an Impala. There were kind of two different models in this 1 year only. So kind of a strange setup. This box is just a little bit torn up, but not the best box. But, you know, the kit's all there. So same thing. Couldn't pass that up, so I grabbed that one. The rest of these fall in that category as well. Mustang Fastback, Boss 429, same thing. Don't really care for this particular style of Revell boxes. They don't hold up well, but love this kit and just couldn't pass that up. Here's another one, 62 Thunderbird. You know, of course, I love my Thunderbirds, and this is the same thing. Couldn't pass it up. Great parts kit. I have this kit already, but was looking for the York compressor for another project, and Louis, the autistic modeler, emailed me and said, hey, there's one in this kit. Maybe you should check it out. And so happened to see this there. So same thing, grab this one, you know, parts kit. It'll be what it is. Here's a recent release that, you know, for $10, I just grabbed it. So same thing, it's all there, it's molded in color. You guys have seen or built this kit. Pretty simple kit, I understand, but have not built it. Not one of my favorite cars, but it's still kind of a fun car, and I've seen it on screen and everything. So again, another one that I just grabbed. Now this one, I have not actually built any of these, but I have a bunch of them. There's at least two other versions of this Bel Air Super Stock, which is kind of like a Z11. These race cars, they're just really cool. And I didn't have Dave Strickler's old Reliable 2. I've got the other two versions, and I've got the stock one, and I've also got the Impala. But this is just a wonderful kit. When you look at it and the contents and everything, it's all there. It's a bubble top. But for an AMT kit, which some of them get bad raps, this one, it looks to be a great kit. I've heard wonderful things about it. So when I saw this one and I didn't have this particular version, I just grabbed it. And since I have all the other versions, it's another one that I'll probably do a kit review of what's in them. I haven't really looked them over very carefully on what's in them and what's not in them. So, but it's another one that I'd like to do a kit review on. And I don't like to do AMT kit reviews because their tooling seems to change quite a bit. So what's in one kit isn't necessarily in the next version of it. So while I like that, it does make doing kit reviews a little bit harder. But I enjoy doing the kit reviews and getting my hands on these kits and just going through them and daydreaming on what's in them. Same with these. 69 Plymouth GTX. This one's written on the box, but it's all there. Looked it over really quickly. These ones you got to be careful with. Some of them have mismatched parts, and I believe this is one of them. I looked it over briefly, and I think the only thing that's really wrong with this one is, I can't remember if it's this one or the convertible has the wrong hood. Has the 68 Roadrunner hood and not the 69 GTX hood. There's a small difference there, but grab that one. And he also had an original issue convertible. So same thing, you know, glance it over real quick. It's all there. Matter of fact, let's see. Okay, that one has the correct hood in it, but I'll get into that in a future video. So this is the one that has the correct hood, and this one doesn't. But I'll get into the kit contents on some of these as I have extras. But I like putting these chassis into some of the older MPC kits. So, you know, at $10 a piece, that's cheap now. So I grabbed them. You know, it's not the best box art, and this one's got tape on it and everything, but you know, that's not why I bought them. This one, same thing. You know, you got to build one of these kits. If you haven't built one, I built 3 or 4 of them. They're just fun kits, and they come with all these extra parts. You can kind of mix match them and do different things to them, but just a fun kit. They're plentiful. They're all over the place, which is, I'm sure, why, he had a ton of them, 5 or 6 of them. And same thing, at 10 bucks, can't go wrong with that kit. And then I had this one as well. I haven't had the newest issue. This one's been restored a little bit. A lot more parts in it. I've got an older issue of this one. So I may just go over the contents on this one and the pad printed tires and everything. But, the tires that are in here, you can buy the tires for, $10, $12. I got the whole kit for 10. So grab this one also. Same thing, just couldn't quite pass it up. And here's another one that falls right in that category. I've got this kit. It's an older issue, but the 66 Fairlane 427. This thing has an awesome motor in it. There's a lot of awesome parts in here. And, I've got the other versions as well. I believe I got this exact same box art. And then I've got the GTA as well. So, great kit, played around with them, but haven't actually built this one. And, looked it over. It looks like everything's in there. Although this one, kind of funny. The tires, they kind of got to the taillights a little bit. But as interesting as it is, a few months back, and I had that video up on there, Hobby Nut Models sent me some parts kits. And there was a GTA in there that was missing a number of parts. The body was worked on and modified. But the taillights are in there. And, of course, they were not messed up like these ones are messed up a little bit. So I threw the taillights in here. That way this kit is complete and buildable, and I don't have the messed up taillights. Although what was in there was usable. So they weren't trashed. But they were in there. So this one's complete, but whether or not I'll build it as the 427. One of them I am going to build as a 427, or this one becomes an engine donor or a parts kit. But same thing, couldn't pass that up. And then the last two, I really didn't need, but I can't pass these up. And it's because I love these kits. Now, I built a couple of these GT350Hs, even built a couple of convertibles, and I've combined the parts. Both of my convertibles, believe it or not, this is probably the 4th or 5th one of these I bought. But one of these days, I am going to build this pace car. I just have to. But, and I bought the better decals for it, because these ones, the decals are kind of known for being yellowed and hard to use. But especially after 30 years, because when did this kit come out? 95. So it's approaching a 30-year-old kit. So but one of these days, I am going to build this as a convertible. But I have built 2 of them, taking the convertible parts and the 66 Shelby parts and making 66 Shelby GT350 convertibles. I've shown the red one on the channel with a quick cameo of the blue one in that video. So I built 2 of them. Shelby actually built 4 of them in period in 1966, and built 10 or 12 more in the 80s as continuations. And I believe there might have been another batch after that. But just interesting car. But, same thing. At the price on these, I just had to grab them. Even though this is the later release 66, I kind of prefer the earlier bodies, because, these are cut out for the GT350R and the earlier bodies are not. But it's easy to swap that or fill that in. The bumper does kind of hide it, but you can still see where the stripes are missing right there. But anyway, that's the last 2 of the batch I walked out of there with. So at Andy's, I ended up walking out with 15 model kits that I didn't intend on actually buying. But I'm not complaining about what I got and everything, because, like I mentioned, they're $10 a piece. And the only one was that SS that was missing the taillights, the one I got right here. That's the only one that's actually missing any parts. There were some other ones I picked up that I looked at, and I could see some damage or missing parts or anything. So, kind of passed on them. There was a 68 Hemi Dart in there that I was like, oh, that's a great kit for 10 bucks. But I opened it up. The body was already cut out for the rear wheels. There was body work done to it and some extra parts in there and stuff taken off the trees. So that one was definitely started. and I decided I've got that kit. I didn't need to have that particular one, so I passed on that. And there were some others in there as well. But I hope you like this video, and your comments are always welcome, and that stuff. So you can kind of see where I went and how I got some of these. So these will be in the stash, and I probably do a review on these Mustangs because I just love these things, and I've got a whole bunch of them. But I got to build a 66 that's not a Hertz version, and then I got to build the pace car. But again, love this kit, and I built so many of them. Matter of fact, I featured one of the GT350Rs just this last Saturday. So thank you for tuning in, subscribing, and all your comments. I really do appreciate it. And hit that like and share. Always love that. They're very helpful for the channel and everything. And you guys, you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next time.